All right, guys, welcome to our call today. We're excited to have each and every one of you here on this amazing Sunday afternoon for us here in the U.S., for our friends across the pond that you guys are there on Sunday evening. Welcome. Guys, please grab a pen and a paper. Please make sure that you're in a place where you can focus in for the next little bit for something that can absolutely transform everything for you. So what I wanted you to do is grab a pen and paper, make sure you're focused in, turn off your videos, mute your phone, you gotta mute a couple people here, get you muted, because I don't want you to miss anything of this incredible information we're gonna share. We're gonna be sharing a project for you that's absolutely exploding. And rather than me try to share that information with you, I'm going to bring up a gentleman that is well documented. I mean, when I say well documented, meaning he has created multiple six-figure earners all over the world, teams of thousands, tens of thousands. And guys, his combined teams are over 500,000 people. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand that we didn't just get anyone to come before you to share this with you. We got the best of the best. So I want to introduce a gentleman to you. He is not only my mentor and my friend, but he is absolutely an incredible leader, tireless leader. And I'm so excited to have him here before you. So without further ado, I'd like to present to some and introduce to others my friend, Mr. Kevin Lattimore.
Hey, Marshana, thanks so much. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir.
Okay, awesome. Let me get this fancy little pointing thing. And you're seeing the big screen, right? Not my one with slides coming up?
Yep, big screen.
Okay, cool. Okay, welcome everybody. This is Kevin Lattimore. We're going to get started right now with the IX Global Debt Box presentation. Thank you guys so much for being here. We have an action-packed call for you. I'm going to try to get through this information quickly. It's going to be a lot of good stuff jammed into here. I'll do my best to keep it accurate, to keep it entertaining. Don't feel overwhelmed. I guess you can't help but feel overwhelmed, but don't let the overwhelm get to you. You don't need to understand absolutely everything for this to be a positive experience for you. It takes a little while to understand all the moving pieces, but I find the people that have the most benefit are the ones that just say they've seen enough, they like the feel, the look, the sound of this, they get started and they figure it out on their way through the business. I like to joke sometimes and say, I don't know how a microwave makes my food hot. I just press some buttons and, you know, good things happen from that point on. So without any further ado, let's get started. I'm going to talk to you about X Node, right? You can see powered by debt. Debt is a company that we're going to talk about. DEBT stands for decentralized eco-friendly blockchain technology. Again, don't be scared if you don't understand the blockchain. Understanding it's not going to make you any more or any less money. That is handled by, you know, the computer system that runs our company and whatnot. If you do understand it, you might have a little bit of a leg up on some because you can speak from a position of understanding, a position of strength, and so on. But at the end of the day, many people, 90+% of our people don't understand much of it. They are still benefiting just as much as those that do. We do say, and if the moderators can make sure that there's always muting going on, that's great. Where cryptos meets commodities, that's such a different concept than most other assets in crypto, especially out there, because the commodities give the crypto some real tangible value. I love cryptocurrency. I own a lot of cryptocurrency. I've made a lot of money in cryptocurrency. But at the end of the day, even Bitcoin, which is way down right now, not from the start, it's up. Bitcoin, as far as I know, started at around 3 cents. It's currently around $16,000, $17,000. One of the single best investments or rates of growth in any financial instrument ever, right? That being said, what is it backed by? We don't know who started Bitcoin. We don't know where they're from. We don't know their name. Yeah, we say Satoshi Nakamoto. Someone just said that's who they think it is. We don't know who that even is as a person. We don't know where they're from. We don't know if they're real, fictional. There's no office. There's nowhere to actually buy Bitcoin from inception, from the company called Bitcoin, right? people have it now. Where did they get it from? Actually, they got it from something called nodes, right? And people that let their computer system ran a Bitcoin algorithm or software, right? Thousands and thousands and eventually millions and millions, maybe even tens of millions of computers, all interconnected, created the Bitcoin infrastructure, blockchain ecosystem, this entire web that watches over and archives everything that happens in real time. That's all Bitcoin is. It's a concept, it's a philosophy, it's a technology, it's a community. Those are all great things and I love it. Like I said, it's down right now to 16,000. I want to buy at least 5 Bitcoins in the next week or so, right? Because I think it's going to go much higher, and 16,000 to me is a steal. But at the end of the day, it's all predicated on a lot of faith, a lot of luck, a lot of praying, and so on. What we have are commodities like oil, like natural gas, like aluminum, like all kinds of elements on the periodical table that are powering, that are giving tangible correlated value to our crypto. And that's why we're a little bit more impervious to the fluctuations of the daily market. We too have fluctuations, but they're predicated on a whole separate and more understandable, rules of business and economics, which makes a lot more sense and lets us breathe and sleep a little easier at night. And it's not predicated on tweets or sentiment or one company did this, so there's this big domino effect of everything else falling over and so on. But without any further ado, let's get into some of the meat and potatoes here so we can get you guys in where you are and out where you want to be. Just grab fresh water. Should have done that already. And here we go. So this is one thing, especially in the crypto space, and I don't even want to put us in the category of a crypto company. We're a company that just happens to have, a lot of crypto, and we have a crypto-centric product, but we have a lot of other things as well, right? And one thing I like, because why I say that? Most crypto companies have people you've never met, never heard of, have no history. Sometimes they're 22-year-old kids, sometimes a lot younger. Their pictures are avatars, right? Little cartoons. They're Bart Simpson and all this kind of stuff. Who is that person? Why do I want to give Bart Simpson my money? This company has these people that we can know, some of us know, some of you will know soon. I've known Joe Martinez, our founder and CEO, for almost 15 years. He's been an amazing builder in the field, a hard worker. He's always done the right thing to the best of my knowledge. We've never been in the same company, but it's a small world at the top, and he's been very, very successful. He's about 37 years old, done I think he's done 3 tours with the US military. So it's kind of matured him a lot more than just 37, but that's neither here nor there. Paul Barlow, I've known separately from knowing Joe. I've known Paul for also about 15 years. We've worked together a little bit here and there. We've consulted some of the same companies. I build a couple companies into Brazil. Paul speaks Portuguese, and he also has people there. And sometimes he needs some help in Brazil with whatever company he's with, and I need help, and we've always been helping each other for years. And last but not least, Brian Robert is the master distributor. And that's another gentleman that I've known for probably like 13 years, right? So I love the fact that these are people that I know personally, and I know them in a positive light. I don't know them from starting bar fights, causing problems, yelling at people on Facebook and all this other crazy, crazy stuff. Now we're going to talk about some really big numbers, some really big situations, a lot of profit potential and so on. So I'd be remiss if we didn't take at least 30 seconds to qualify some of that and touch on this disclaimer right here. So you guys can read it really quick. I'm going to go through it with you in 1 second, but just get the flavor of this, because I don't want it to just be all rainbows and lollipops. You're getting into a business, there is inherent risk. So you can see there, none of this information that's provided is intended as investment, tax, accounting, or legal advice, or an offer or solicitation of an offer to buy or sell, or as an endorsement of any company, security, fund, or other offering. The information should not be relied upon for the purposes of transacting securities or other investment. Your use of the information contained herein is at your own risk. The content provided is as is without warranties, of course, either express or implied. IX does not promise or guarantee any income or particular result from your use of the information contained herein. Under no circumstance will IX be liable for any loss or damage caused by your reliance on the information contained herein. So basically, past performance does not guarantee future gain. And anything shared by myself, my co-hosts, some testimonials on here, if there's any discrepancy between what we say and anything that you get from a corporate video, website, or whatever, please assume that the company's information is accurate and we may have been misquoted or misspoke. With that out of the way, let's get into the good stuff, shall we? Okay. A little temperamental here. So looking at nodes and licenses, we're going to talk about nodes and licenses and sometimes rentals. All three are going to be the exact same thing for the purposes of this presentation. Now, first and foremost, before I get into that, we are skipping the entire genesis of this company, which was teaching people Forex, foreign exchange, which is a $6 trillion a day business, right? That's there. It's still there. The company started in May, I believe, of 2020, and they started primarily with Forex training, a Forex academy, Forex signals, where they tell you, buy this, now sell it, now buy it, now sell it, now sell it, now buy it, right? They were giving us signals, right, that you run in the foreign exchange world, and you can make quite lucrative incomes from that. It's a little difficult to understand and do on your own. That's why they had a couple things. One was automation, where you just keep your money in a certain account that you own, that you control, and the company will trade it for you, right? And you can withdraw it at any time. You can stop it at any time, do whatever you wanted to do. Add to the total, withdraw from the total. They also had the signals where they told you, and then in real time, if you got an alert on your phone, you type that in, you type how much you want to spend on that trade or idea, and it was entirely up to you as well. So it was really, really cool. By the way, I worked with a very similar system about 2.5 years ago. And what I learned for $134 a month has been, it led me to something else later in my life, maybe about a year ago, which was also Forex related, that has created the biggest income almost I've ever had in my life. I'll just leave it at that. So these things can lead somewhere. But again, we have something right now that we're going to focus on for this call that is just so hot and not overwhelming, but just astonishing, that we're going to focus primarily on nodes, licenses, and rentals. Again, all three of them are the same, so we're going to use those words interchangeably. Just some are perpetually going on for 10 years plus, and rentals go anywhere from 30 to 60 days, but they're identical. The only distinction. So this is a lot of mumbo jumbo here that's going to be very confusing to you guys, but it just says blockchains, cryptocurrencies are blockchains. They require nodes to operate. Let's think back to the example I gave you. Where is the office of Bitcoin? It's nowhere. It's a series of laptops and computers and servers all over the world running an algorithm, a software, and that creates the network, the infrastructure. You can't hack Bitcoin because it exists on 20 million computers that are all in separate locations at the same time. You'd have to hack every single person, which you can't do. Right? So it's really, really, it's just a peer-to-peer community that's created it. It's really astonishing. The first people to ever get Bitcoins were the people that have the nodes. It's still the people that get them. Other people buy them, but those are ones that were sold from the originators. So when you have a node, right, when you have a license, every day, either fractions or whole Bitcoins, or in our case, I don't even know what to call ours, right? But our tokens internally to IX will come to you. One of my biggest ones right now, I think, is natural gas, is giving me 14,000 tokens a day. Imagine this was Bitcoin when it just started. You're getting 14,000 Bitcoins a day as a reward for letting Bitcoin, the invisible company, use your computer, run your software, use your electricity, use, all your infrastructure, basically. Same thing here. You get rewarded. And that's why we say this deal is passive, right? Because there's nothing for you to do other than sign up, purchase as many or as few as you like. And from that point on, it's completely automated. And the only thing you do is at some point, you're going to want to withdraw the tokens that you got for free, right? As a reward for running this system, and either put them somewhere for safekeeping, waiting for the price to hopefully appreciate, or to withdraw them and turn them into actual cash. So let's move on. Hopefully you get that. And again, even if you don't, if you like the sentiment of what's going on, these things will happen in and of themselves. So this is just a little bit more talking about the debt ecosystem. And just to reiterate really quickly, there's two separate companies that I'm talking about at the same time. One is IX Global. That's the company that started in May of 2020. They did $6 million their first year, $22 million in 2021. And so far this year, 2022, we've done $160 million. We did $25 million last month, 25 million the month before, and 20 million the month before that. So we're on an amazing trajectory. We're hoping, and at first I thought they were a little bit crazy, to do $500 million next year. Considering we're averaging $25 million a month right now, that would put us at about 300 million just at our current rate of growth, which is astonishing for a 3-year-old company to be approaching $500 million. We're getting to some very, very rare air, right? And this could be something really, really good. Talk about being in the right place at the right time. You guys are definitely in it. Of course, that's way too cliche these days, right? Right place at the right time, but that is the situation. The second company is called BLOX, which I touched on before, decentralized, eco-friendly blockchain technology. Both companies are in Salt Lake City, Utah. And one important little distinction or nuance, IX went to BLOX. BLOX didn't need any help selling what they have. They're the ones with the licenses. They're the one with the nodes. What IX is we have negotiated by spending between 10 and $15 million. We bought a bunch of nodes at wholesale cost, and then we resell them through our ecosystem, right? To various people that join with us and to various future customers. And we've been rebuying a lot ever since that initial purchase, but we've secured the rights to be their global exclusive marketing partner. So BLOX sells on their website for at least double to sometimes 10 times our price. The exact same product, but they have a different clientele they're going after. They sell for double to 10 times our price. Their prices start at about $10,000 and they go to $70,000. Our prices start at $250 for a rental, right? I'll qualify that a little bit later in the presentation, for a rental, but for purchasing the lifetime licenses, they start at $1,000 and our highest one is $6,000. So here's kind of how it works, right? Step one, you purchase a mining license. It's really just e-commerce in our back office. You click on, I want one or I want two, you pay for them, then you own them, right? You put in your password, they assign them to you, and then those are yours. They're licenses, they're credited, they have serial numbers, they know it belongs to you, they're running it at their home office, but all the profits go to you. The best part about this, and again, not to get overwhelmed, I'm giving you sometimes maybe a little too much information, but one thing that's super important, if you can grasp this, is the entire company on the distribution side, right, is run by a robot. What I mean by a robot, it's called a smart contract. Don't be scared by that. It's a piece of software. You write certain rules, right? If anybody buys a natural gas license from 24 hours after their purchase, give them roughly 14,000 tokens a day. And a year from now, we'll drop that to 7,000 tokens a day. And 2 years from now, it'll be 3,500 tokens a day, and so on. Once they press enter on that smart contract, which they've done for anything that we have for sale, even the owner, the writer, the owners of BLOX, the owner of IX cannot change it. They can't say, oh, that Kevin, he's so annoying and he talks so much. Let's give him 3,000 tokens a day, right? Or he's doing another company secretly. Ooh, he's not committed. Let's give him 1,000 tokens a day and take back 13. They can't do any of that. Once it's yours forever. And that's a beautiful thing. And it keeps things very honest. If the owners want a bunch of tokens, they, just like us, have to purchase them. And this is all on a blockchain that the people around here that are smart enough to watch would be able to see if they got any. And we can also see how much everyone has. Now, we don't know the names of everybody, but I'm getting too deep into the smart contract. But everything is fully transparent is all I'm trying to say. And that's what keeps it very, very fair and very, very regimented. So you purchase your mining license, you get it activated, and it has to be activated before to start mining, of course. You earn rewards daily, as you see over here on the reward section. And then step 3 is withdraw your rewards and redeem their value for other tokens, other licenses, or redeem them for whatever you want, which is turn it into money and go pay your mortgage if that's what you need to do. Spoiler alert, try not to use it to pay your mortgage. I was told by the owners on 2 separate occasions, what we're doing here is we're playing a game of chicken. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, whoever holds on to their tokens the longest will make the most money because they are appreciating. Our tokens are deflationary. Really, really big word. It just means the opposite of inflation. When the government needs more money, they just print more money. They hit a button and more $100 bills spit out faster, 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 faster. That makes the other $100 bills that you've been hiding under your mattress for the last 7 years worth less and less and less and less. We do the opposite. Ours is deflationary, so everything the company does on the back end is to pump the price up and to reduce the supply of tokens. They're not going to reduce the amount that you have, they reduce it on the back end. From people who sell, they destroy them. And that changes the law of supply and demand. They're getting rid of supply. Again, over many people's heads, but these are little things that will click in over time. I believe you get the sentiment of what I'm trying to say. Now, here's a snapshot from a company called CoinGecko. What they do is they're kind of like the library or the Google or the Wikipedia of all the tokens and coins in the world, right? And by the way, there's 13,000. Most of you know Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, I'm running out of coins that I know about type of thing, right? There's 13,000. One of those 13,000 is called the Debt Box. Where'd you hear that name before? That's our partner, that's us, right? Our coin has already gone from, we just invented it out of thin air to being worth 1045. Can somebody on this call, one of the co-hosts or anybody in the chat, go right now to CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko and get the updated? This is a price I took maybe 2-3 weeks ago. And just type in the chat really quick what it is so people can see that it's probably even gone higher. I'm hoping it's gone higher. Could have gone down, right? What's most important here, though, is in the last 24 hours when I took this picture, $3.34 million, $3.5 million was bought and sold in this token, not including the people that have the nodes that just get these tokens dropped in their wallet for free. Because again, that's how tokens originate. Someone owns a node, and a node is an origin point. That's where they start. This is baby Superman on Krypton. He's born and he turns into Krypton, you know what I mean, later. Don't know where that example came from. But again, an origin story is what I was kind of thinking, right? This is how it all got started. The people that have the nodes get these things for free, and then they spend them or sell them or trade them. And then that's how other people get them. The people on this site are getting them from the people that are cashing out who are getting them for free. So look at the various places we are, and this is set to explode soon. And you might not recognize some of these, you might not even care. That's completely fine, right? PancakeSwap is enormous. I think they do about $300–500 million a day, if not more, in sales. And they're one of our unofficial partners. That's where you can find and buy and sell a lot of your debt tokens. And here's some other places. And here's the big one, right? This is the biggest exchange. An exchange is kind of like a bank or a stock exchange, so to speak. This is where people go to buy and sell, a big market, right? And this is the biggest one in the world. And we're already in negotiations to get listed on Binance. If and when that happens, it should, or historically, some coins go up 2,000 to 3,000% the very day they get listed. So that's why a lot of us are like, just remember when I said a game of chicken, right? We're trying to hang on. We're trying to accumulate as many tokens as we can right now in the hopes of we soon get listed on Binance, and in the hopes of we're one of the many companies that once they get listed, their token value explodes. Imagine you got 10 tokens all worth $10 or whatever the price listed in the chat is. Let's say $10, that'd be $100. Hopefully the way it would, could, should work, once we get listed on Binance, all those tokens go to $40. So the 10 you have now becomes worth 400 theoretically. Now look at this. If nothing else, we win the colorful, the colorful award, right? These are some of our various projects that are currently running. Take a quick look at that and I'll explain them very rapidly. Okay, so our longest running one is black gold. This is oil. This is probably the story you were told to get you on this call if you're a guest, right? And the symbol for that is BGLD, black gold. This is oil. You can see the little drop of oil logo there. And I haven't even touched on this. I don't know if You can see this logo of a satellite right here. Let me just do this really quickly. We didn't have a slide that covered this, but I believe this is foundational if we have guests. And excuse me, I should have brought this up earlier so you could have that big aha moment as to what we're really doing. Why are we here? What's so special? What's different about this company? Well, a whole lot. Okay, so we have a proprietary software that we run on a satellite, and we can get any coordinates, right? Someone gives us coordinates of land they own, and we do a scan of that, and it's basically like doing an x-ray of the land. It's like doing an ultrasound. You know, when you have a baby and you rub the wand on your wife's stomach or what have you, or you're the wife, right? But, and you can see the baby through the skin, through the muscles, through everything. Or like an MRI that they use to detect things at an even more microscopic and cellular level within a body. Our satellite software does the same thing, but over landmass, right? And we can identify huge bodies of liquid like water or like oil or any other pools of liquid. We can identify gases. And most importantly, we can identify most elements on the periodical table. You remember grade 9 science? You never thought that would come back in handy, right? I'm talking about aluminum, I'm talking about zinc, I'm talking about iron, I'm talking about all those things, gold, it just goes on and on and on. So we have just developed this thing, and obviously not IX, but DebtBox and their partners, and it's been astonishing the results. We have, and by the way, we had people with boots on the ground. We have about 30 people that I know of right now that have been to Nebraska, where, you know, that's a famous picture for us. You'll see a picture at some point, you probably already did, with all kinds of people wearing BGLD hard hats and smiling and stuff. Those are reps. They don't work there, obviously. You can probably tell by the picture. But 90 days before, whatever picture you saw of anybody from our company at that oil well, that, so you know, is in Nebraska probably, or a Nevada one. And 90 days before that picture, it was just all grass. There's a family there that for over 80 years has owned nearly 100,000 acres in Nebraska. And we told them, hey, you guys have some oil. And they're like, no, no, no. People tell us that every year for 80 years. Don't even bother with us right now. Like, no, no, we're pretty sure. And you pay a little bit of a fee or whatever, and you can go drill. And the idea is we work on royalty deals. We help you find things. And if we find it, our lowest deal is you give us 3.5% of the value of what everything you have is worth, like the oil, whatever we find, up to 20%. And as a matter of fact, I think that Nevada or the Nebraska one, we got a 20% deal. So they pull the oil out, they sell it every day. It's a 24/7 operation, and we get 20% of every dollar made from that oil, just from that discovery. By the way, we have about 7 to 11 discoveries right now. And this is astonishing. Might go over your head, you might not care, but just to get an idea of the precision and the uniqueness of what we're doing. The last 7 times we told somebody there was oil, it was right where we said it was. It was just as deep as we said it was, and it was in the quantities that we said it was. In this game of finding oil and drilling and exploration, you are considered like a genius if you can find oil 20% of the times you look. You will be bankrupt if you can't hit at least 10% of the times. It's that narrow of a window. I'm not saying we're perfect. I'm not saying we're at 100%. But what I'm telling you right now is the last 7 times we opened our mouth was 7 times that we were 110%. Really, really cool stuff. And right now we're doing that with a partnership. And the partnership's probably a little bit of a strong word, but we have a partnership agreement with Google, and we use Google satellites. We run our software privately. We don't even let Google see what we're doing. Within the next 6 months, I'll say, just to give myself some coverage, we'll be launching some of our own satellites into space using, I think Boeing is helping us make them, and SpaceX is helping us launch them. Listen to the names I'm saying. This is why we get so many people on the call. This is why there's not a huge drop off. This is why we've grown from 15 people 7 weeks ago to 1,200, just our team. I don't even know if we're the fastest growing team. We probably aren't. We're doing well, but someone can have greater numbers. I don't take the credit. Hugh Paul doesn't take the credit. Marshawn doesn't take the credit. This is just a once in a lifetime. Again, I'm going to bury you guys in cliches today, but you be the judge. You be the judge. This is a once in a lifetime offering that someone for $250 is going to let you own, because this is what I'm oversimplifying the equation here. For $250, you can theoretically own, you'll make money from it, an oil well that will pay you for no less than 10 years. I already know there's a succession plan beyond 10 years. They're just marketing it as 10 years for now, right? Maybe there's a $50 fee in 10 years, and then it'll go for another 10 years, right? Anything can happen in the future. Right now, what they're promising, what they're guaranteeing to us is 10 years minimum, right? You're gonna own an oil well, you're gonna own a piece of a natural gas pipeline, you're gonna own part of this, all these other things you see on the screen, aluminum mines and so on, for all that time. Coming soon, this one in the middle is gonna be a real estate. I don't know, I don't think you find, I don't know what they're gonna, I don't know how it works. I won't even make anything up, right? So I was thinking, I don't know if it ties into what mostly we're using, which is the satellite to identify certain things within real estate. I know this for a fact because there's a gentleman on the call, he might even give a testimonial soon, who is friends with the owners of DebtBox. Never knew this is what they were doing. He knew them from their financial days, running a multi hundreds and hundreds of $1 million hedge fund. And before that, they ran hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of $1 million real estate financing operation, right? They put up money for big malls and big projects and stuff like that, tremendous structures being built. They did all the equity financing and stuff like that. So everything these guys do is usually money oriented. Every time they play the game, they win, and they win big. And now their latest foray is what you're seeing right here, which is DebtBox, who we've partnered with. So we have Grow as well. So we have very high yielding crops that are turning over tremendous lucrative profits. We have DLG, which is digitally linked gold, right? We actually have gold mines, which I giggle every time I say that. The thing that happened for me just a week ago, I've had 30 friends get flown in by corporate and go and visit the gold mines. Guards with AK-47s 24/7 watching over them. And, you know, again, we have the satellite. It can see and tell the difference between gold, aluminum, copper, whatever it's seeing in the ground. Obviously, you're going to gravitate towards gold if and where you can find it, and we have. Aluminum, I'm going to have to speed up the pace here a little bit to get you guys out on time. Aluminum is one of our biggest finds, and I'm going to paint a really quick picture here in 60 seconds or less. The reason you hear us talking about Ghana very often, which is 1 or 2 countries over from Nigeria in Africa, is because Ghana has a lot of what's called bauxite. Bauxite is one of the key elements and ingredients in turning, you know, into aluminum, right? Which is for pop cans. As a matter of fact, I heard a crazy statistic that said one of our mines does the equivalent of creating up to 20% plus of all the soda cans made in a year. Over 1.5 million metric tons of this element, right? Which is great. They're doing tremendous business, been doing it for over a decade. Once again, let me piece together how we work, how we operate. We have a satellite. Well, we're boring a satellite for now till our own is created very soon. It's actually being, I shouldn't say that. I'll say it because you guys have been listening. It's actually being worked on, and people have seen the factory workers building our satellite. I never said that. Shh, erase the tape. So that's really cool. I got to get my eyes on that picture, those pictures. So anyways, what we did is we noticed, and these aren't specifics, I'm painting a picture for you, but let's say the bauxite mine is right here in Ghana, and they're going away doing their 1.5 million metric tons a year for decades. And we say, hey, you signed this agreement right here for 20%. We'll show you where there's more bauxite. They're like, we're the masters of bauxite. What do we need you for? We're like, just sign it. If we don't show you more, you don't owe us anything. If we find some more for you, I'm sure you'll happily do it. They sign, we say, hey, 100 yards over to the left, right? It's more specific than that, but 100 yards over to the left, that where you've been digging and drilling and mining for the past decade, go check out the soil samples and do whatever due diligence and homework you have to do there. All we hear is, oh my goodness, 3.5 million more extra metric tons of this stuff that's already put them on the map globally. We've just tripled the value of their company, tripled the value of how much of this they have in their country, tripled their face in the world map in production of this with one simple scan. right? We become partners with them at the hotel where our 30 friends and business partners were just a week ago. This is hot off the press. A week ago, they were down there. I don't know if the president or prime minister came, but high ranking officials. As a matter of fact, they wrote into law when we were there that, and this was a long time coming. It wasn't as if it just happened, but ceremoniously it happened last week. Chevron, Shell, ExxonMobil, all these companies are now kicked out of the country. I'm pausing for dramatic effect. Right? They're kicked out of the country because nobody else can get back in or do any more drilling or any kind of excavation, heavy excavation, building new mines, digging new mines or whatever, unless they partner with BLOX and use our technology because of the precision. Right now, you have a lot of different companies. I'm not going to pick on any one in particular, but let's just say I know recently they kicked out a Chinese corporation. And they would have a big mountain, right? This is a mountain. don't choose me for Pictionary or charades, right? This is a mountain. And what they were doing is they were like strip mining, just flattening that mountain. Whatever they get, they get. And they'd pay the government of Ghana $1 or $2 million, and they'd pull out maybe 70, 80, $100 million. First of all, a ripoff in terms of the numbers. Secondly, they were displacing entire villages. They were leaving that whole area in tatters and ruins. Never put it back. I mean, how do you put together a mountain, right? Well, the difference with us is, here's the secret sauce if you can't already visualize it on your own. The mountain's still here. We use our satellite and we say, you know what? In this 10% of the mountain right here is 80% of the iron, of the aluminum, of the gold, of the copper, whatever it is you're looking for specifically is all just right here. So why not just drill in this 10% of the mountain, get 80% of what you need, leave the other 90% of the mountain alone, intact for another couple centuries, right? And go on about your business. And by the way, what we do is we give the bulk back to the country. As a matter of fact, we found, right, recently, this is another hot off the press, and sorry I'm just going so deep into this. I want to bring you guys up. I want to elevate you to my level of confidence, understanding, belief, and knowledge so that you guys can hit the ground running, even if you're just passive, even if all you want to do is purchase 1, 2, 3, 4, or 10 nodes, even just rent one node for $250. I want you to feel confident in what's going on here and realize this isn't the deal of the week, the deal of the day, some crazy thing that your friend's trying to get you into, right? This, I've never been in a business where I get thanked so much. I randomly get calls from people that are like, bro, I can't believe you called me for this. Thank you so much. I have a friend on this call and we've been working together. We knew of each other way back when, but he was such a superstar. I was just a little guy in that company, 10, 15 years ago. But for the last 3 years, we've been working closely. His name's Hugh Paul. And when I got introduced to this business, I started looking at it and kicking it around a little bit. And I was in it for about 4 or 5 days. And I said, man, I got to show this to Hugh Paul. Sorry that I'm using your story here, Hugh Paul, but, and his father had just passed away that very day when I really needed to call him. And I had a choice to make. I said, I can call him and tell him, man, you got to get into this business, get your checkbook out. And he may never call me back and say I'm a heartless and sensitive person that doesn't care about what his family's going through. And his family's all over the world, right? They're very successful in various businesses. Everybody's back at his house. Everyone's coming to visit, uncles, aunts, brothers, brother-in-laws, people he hasn't seen for a decade. And I'm here, time to make some money. But the heart side aside, I thought the opportunity was greater that I didn't even want to wait an extra 2-3 days. I don't want to say till the dust settled because that's also an insensitive term. But anyways, long story short, I made the call. And for a second, he did what anybody would do. It's like, Kev, really not a good time. You're lucky I even picked up the phone. It was just out of respect that it was you. I really got to go. And I don't know, I can't remember the specifics on what I said at that point. But later on that or maybe I just said, all right, I'll just send you the link. Sorry, bro. And he just took a chance in the middle of everything he was going through, being that father figure to everybody else in the household, everyone else visiting. He still snuck away 2-3 minutes to go sign up. And, good things have stemmed from that. Let me just put it that way. So all that to say this is the one deal where you tell people about it and they're just randomly thankful. I'm not saying that's Hugh Paul, but I'm just saying I get a lot of thank yous. And a lot of people, when they do a testimonial, hi, my name's Steve, and I got to say what's up to Marshonda because she's the one who told me, thank you. And anyway, so what happened to Steve was, you know what I mean? It kind of goes like that. And sorry, I'm not following the script right here because I don't need a script. As a matter of fact, it's only been 2 weeks that I've used anything. I used to just get on here and talk for 45 minutes and people would sign up, right? And all those people are very, very happy. But I thought it'd be better if we had a little bit of some pictures to help along with what we're doing. And let me just pick up the speed here. Wow, it's been about 40 minutes. So I try to be respectful of your time, especially on a Sunday. Even myself, I wanted to watch some football, but I thought this was more important to be here with you guys. All right. I have a license here, right? One license. As you can tell, this is aluminum because it's orange. When I bought my first aluminum license. So for the next 10 years, I'm looking at it. And most people say for the next 10 years, I make $3 a day. Some people are like, I got on a Zoom to learn how to make $3 a day. First of all, how many more days do you think that's going to be? And if you don't think that's much money, I'll give you my address or my PayPal. And let's see how many days in a row you can send me $3. I'm sure you'll stop well before it hits 20, well before, right? But anyways, it's not about the $3. It's about the 295 aluminum tokens. You're like, what's an aluminum token? Just imagine it's Bitcoin for simplicity. I'm not trying to hype you up and say it is Bitcoin, it'll be worth 16,000. I'm just saying it's a coin. And I get 295 of them that just drop throughout the day from the sky. And you can see right here, the price of them is exactly 1 penny when I made the purchase. This was like the 10th of October or something like that. And you can see, actually, it wasn't my first day. It was probably 4 days in because I already have 1,000 tokens worth $10 since I started. This picture is taken 3 weeks later. I bought another license because unlike some of you, I like making $3 a day doing absolutely nothing. And I say, if I can make $3 a day with one, why don't I buy another one for $1,200 so I can make $6 a day? And then to my surprise, when I came down the stairs on Christmas Day, a couple of weeks later, I was making $12 a day. Now, to be fair, just to help you guys, I'm not going to try to overmarket. How to go from 3 to 12? Well, first of all, I bought another one. So really, this should be 6 at the rate that I was making. The magic is that 1 penny went to 2.15 pennies. So the value doubled and this doubled. That's why this quadrupled. So by the old numbers, I should have been making $6 a day. Now I'm making $12 a day. And through that time, the 3 weeks that I've been on this program at the time of this picture, I made 17,000 tokens, which was worth $367. And by the way, up until now, this hit 3 cents. So that means it's kind of gone up another 50%. And I think I'm making like $18 a day. It's the coolest thing. Oh, here, forgot I had this slide. So you can see right here at the bottom, the 21st of September, I put my finger on the chart and it go over here to the right. You can see the 21st of September to the 21st of October, the 21st of October to the 21st of November. So 2 months, just a week ago. So we're 2 months in a week, call that 9 weeks. In 9 weeks, it's gone from half a penny. And you can see, well, right now it's at 2.5. It even went right here to almost 3. I think it's hit 3 after this picture. Yeah, that's to the 13th of November. So at this point in this picture, it's actually only 7 weeks. But anyways, that's good enough. We're not going to overmarket this. That's half a cent to 1 cent to 1.5 cents to 2 cents to 2.5 cents. That's 500%. If you put $1,000 and made a purchase, I mean, the nodes are different. They just drip to you, right? But just showing what this means in the world of like stocks or growth or any kind of other business returns. If you would have made a purchase of $1,000 worth, an XPLR, by the way, Explorer, that's our satellite token, the pink one. If you would have purchased that for $1,000 here, by this day, you would have had $5,000. That's all this means. And we'll skip on. Either you get that or you don't. I think most do. It's pretty basic math. 500% growth, more than what you started with. And again, some people are selling right now. They're like, man, I made 5 times my money. Let me get out, which is fine. So it'll make it come down a little bit as people sell. But eventually you'll see, look, it always goes up and people make some money, then they sell. And then it goes up and people make some money. But the trend is trending up. And that's what we want. Okay, so I showed you, sorry, I didn't know. I got so many different presentations because what I've done is I've mixed in some of my own pictures, as you can tell, with the presentation. So here's my one license that I started with of XPLR, and I was making $3.22 with this. And look, it was 0.008. So I almost got in just a little above the bottom. And then I still have one, so this is a good one to look at. And then 3 weeks later, look at the price. Now it's 1.8, right? So it's almost triple. Now I'm at $6.35 from $3 a day. This is my daily. So a cycle is a day, a 24-hour period. And then the current cycle is whenever you check in, I was at $1.52 for the current day. So pretty cool. This is BGLD. We're going to burn through some of these because we kind of touched on a lot of these even before the slides. This is just a representation of some of our finds, right? People that we've helped find oil for the different wells. You can see right here where we're talking about Nebraska. When you see that picture, one of my business partners and friend, also of 10 years or so, Travis Flaherty, is in the business, and he's got a very famous picture and video at that oil well that many of you may have seen. We're getting 20% of the yield from that Nebraska, where they said for 80 years, people have been telling they have oil. People check every year and never find anything. We're the first people to find some, and we get 20% for pointing that out to the landowner. In Nevada, you're going to see a picture on the next one. We're only getting 3.5%, but that's okay because there's 400 million barrels of oil that we found. This is a oil well that's been around since I think the 1960s, and they just finished sucking it dry, basically, right? They just finished, and they were just packing up shop, high fives, we're out of here. And we're like, wait. And it's a small picture, but this is the Nevada site at the bottom. This is the Nebraska one, by the way, that I was talking about. This was all grass 90 days before this picture. We saw from the satellite that there was oil right here, 50 million barrels. That's a lot. And but here's the Nevada one that I was just talking about. These are the guys that have been around for over 50 years, and they finally sucked it all dry. Why? We said, look, sign this contract, boom, 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 3.5%. What they were missing, they didn't realize. They had all this oil in this big pool, right? We said, if you just drill 1,000, this was an easy one for us. It wasn't way over there, way over there. It was just deeper. If they just drove through a little bit more rock, 1,000 more feet, boom, they hit 400 million more brand new barrels of oil that they never knew existed because they don't have our software. They have their various ways of looking for oil. And by the way, there's something called fracking, which is the new way that they do it. I don't even understand it, but I know a lot of people hate it. These are the people that chain themselves to like trees and stuff. We've got to stop the fracking. We've got to stop the fracking, right? And they say there's like little mini earthquakes that go on for weeks after and stuff. That's how other people are doing it. We're just using our high-powered, satellite. I'm going right there and right there. Like, so you guys don't need my crazy little demonstration, but that's what's going on. We have an app. You have the X Node app. I suggest there is a DebtBox one. They're identical, but this one's made by IX. So kind of bat with the home team if you can. Very robust. As a matter of fact, it's been upgraded since this. It's very, very powerful. It's in the App Store and the Google Play Store. These are all the various projects. We're not going to go through that for the sake of time right now, but and there's many, many more, as you know. This is just some of the pricing that's subject to change at any given. They usually give us a week's notice when they're going up. Black gold is sold out. I asked a question about this and I heard the best and worst answer, and it was the same answer. I'm like, you guys have so much black gold, and some of us weren't here. By the time I came here, it was already sold out. And I said, could you guys do black gold 2.0, make like another version, get some more licenses? And they said no. And that was the worst answer I could hear. I can never get black gold, and you can never get black gold. We can get it through rentals, but I want to purchase that license so I can have that for life. Make a purchase one time and have that oil money come in forever, right? Look, Ma, I made it, right? We were selling the licenses for $6,000. DebtBox sells them for $50,000. And by the way, they sell thousands, not 8,000, thousands with S's at the end for those prices, right? They're selling them all day long to much more sophisticated investors with a lot more money that really like these numbers, some of which, even that $3 a day that you guys might have been laughing at, they see the bigger picture. If it's $3 a day, they'll buy 1,000 of them, right? They understand money. But they said, no, they won't sell anymore. And that was a bad answer because I couldn't get any, but it was also a good answer. It means they have integrity. Even though I would buy 10 of these right now if they would sell them to me for 6,000, they said no. Again, the smart contract. You just can't make more licenses. So right now they have 7 to 10 oil wells. Again, like I said earlier, if they end up getting 700, all the people that already have these will benefit without any further cost to them. Natural gas just sold out. I have, a couple of those. I wish I bought more. Already have regrets. So, when you say you would have done something, I didn't have the chance for this. I did have the chance for that, and I didn't fully take advantage. I did have 20 rentals. So those are churning and burning and making me like, a few $1,000s a month, but I'd like to just set it and forget it. Grow, and anyways, on and on and on. Let's move on. It's not important. You'll see these if and when you guys decide to come on for our guests that are watching. This has been upgraded to 30 days. All our rentals are 60-day cycles, and Black Gold has been upgraded to a 30-day cycle. Right now, by the way, if you want to get your calculators out, yesterday Black Gold was paying $13 a day. That's a little bit, I shouldn't really put it that way. What I should say is 1,000 to 3,000 tokens per day. But again, you're like, okay, what do I do with 2,000 tokens, right? So based on the current pricing, this equals $13 a day. When you multiply that by 30 days, someone put in the chat, and again, understand this could go up, this can go down, but as of right now, $13 a day times 30 days, I think it's about 400 bucks, which means you're netting a nice little profit right now. But again, as I'm saying not to do it, I'm telling you guys how to do it, right? You shouldn't look at it like that. This is a long-term play. Yes, you can make some short, quick-term money, but you'll most likely regret it when you look back in a year, 2.5, 3 years from now, and you find out that this 3,000 tokens for the day that you made is now worth $3,000, let's say, for just an arbitrary number. And you sold it for, $400. 60 days is mostly what we're doing. You can see here, you get 90 BV. We're going to transition to that in a second. This is on the business side, the networking side, which again, I think I said this at the start. It might have been on my last presentation just before this. We have 1,200 people on our team. I'd say roughly 900 plus, 9 to 950 are never getting on another Zoom, simply because they want to be passive. They want to put their money somewhere and watch it grow. If you bought Tesla stock, Microsoft stock, Apple stock, you don't like log in every single day to see where it is. You want to buy that, you want to ride it, and check in and maybe at the end of every year or whatnot, and just hope it grows your retirement fund. Should be the same concept here. I think this is a little bit more new, so people are a little bit more hands-on, but that's kind of how that all goes. This is just a quick snapshot I took. This is my arts and craft. This is the back office of IX Global. You can see $6,000 for a NATG license. A 10-year plus license will cost you $6,000. It pays $250 to the person that sold it to you, and 1,500 points goes to the people that are doing the networking part of the game. This is a picture of the DebtBox website. Their site is black and white, as you may or may not know. I clicked on, I want to buy a NATG license. They said, great, give us $70,000 or get out of here. I chose to get out of there, but most people that go there say, click, 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 give me 7, give me 5, give me 2, give me 10. Now, if you understand what's going on when I talk about some of these numbers, then maybe your brain went here, and if it didn't, I'm going to take it here. This is a snapshot. A friend of mine, we were doing the Zoom, just the two of us, and he was showing me his back office. And I'm like, how's your natural gas doing? So we clicked on his natural gas on his, you can see the DebtBox, his app. And it said, for the day, I was like, yeah. For the day, I made $300. What you got? He's like, what I got is $8,753. I'm like, right? And if you aren't understanding what you're looking at here, this is because he bought over 100 licenses. Probably a lot of rentals in there too, full disclosure, right? That's a lot of money. But whatever he did, he has over 100 of these, and that's why he's making $8,000+ a day. And that's why this opportunity isn't just for network marketers. It isn't just for affiliate marketers. It isn't just for any one group of people. We're getting real estate investors. On DebtBox's side, they're getting pension funds. They're getting hedge funds. They're getting like, people that would normally buy a condo, right, for $500,000. Let's say a nice condo in Chicago. The mortgage is $2,000 a month. They rent it out for $2,500. Well, that's only $500 a month profit, which is only $6,000 a year. And then heaven forbid the people move out and you have to repaint and fix the hot water heater and fix this and fix that. Blah, you made no money. They just like the tidiness of buying these nodes and letting that money come long term. They're looking at it like a mortgage, right? They're looking at it, where will this be in 5, 6, 7, 10 years? They understand what's going on, and that's the game they're playing. Get in where you fit in, play the game that you want to play. You don't have to wait that many years. You completely write your own story of when you want to cash out, but I'm just giving you some perspective that we could talk to many different people. And that's why I said most of my team is passive, which is completely fine. They may only purchase once. They might purchase once every 2, 3, 4 months. They might purchase, once a year. Whatever they do, it's completely fine. It's all volume at the end of the day. This is 1,500 points. We make anywhere from 10% to 20% of that. For every single person anywhere in my team that buys this, I will make between $150 to $300, even if I don't know them. Scott, I think you're on this call. Can you type in how many NATGs you bought into the chat if you feel like sharing, right? And then whatever number you see Scott type into the chat, multiply that by, let's say, $300, and you'll understand why Scott's my absolute bestest friend in the world. This is just a quick snapshot of all the different rentals that we have. And again, sorry if I didn't get clear on the rentals. Let's just say this. When we have a project, let's say like Black Gold, I think Black Gold, we made 60,000 licenses. We sold 45,000. We have 15,000 left. We're renting those in 30-day increments for $250. It's just like a high-end hotel. I don't know if sometimes you might not even know this. Even a lot of the Las Vegas hotels, the top 2, 3, 4, 10 floors, maybe, if it's a big enough structure, are condos. People buy those and live there. And then all the other ones are for rent. So the company makes a lot of money from selling $1 million per unit. And then the other ones, they rent for $150 a night. And at some point, that $150 per night is going to add up to $1 million and keep going. And that will be the company's profits for a long time. But those 25, 35, 100 units that they sold at $1 million each gives the company, right, that owns the building, the MGM, the Wynn, whoever, gives them like $120 million right now money to pay off the construction, to pay off the loans, to pay off part of their mortgage on that property, right? And then it's the rentals that will make the long-term money. Same game we're having here. And again, it's written on a smart contract. They can't make any more. This is just a random snapshot, it means nothing. These are just pictures. This is how I used to do the presentation, a bunch of screenshots I took from things I'm doing. We have a new project coming up called Swipe, right? We've done a deal with MasterCard, and they've tokenized all the swipes that they make from all the people that use the credit card. So when you put $1,000 in on this credit card, it'll give you $1,000 in crypto. Or let's say the $1,000 you made from Black Gold, you're going to swipe and spend and buy groceries. That's expensive groceries, by the way. But you're free to do so. And then the 1% or the 1.9% that they charge you for doing that, we're all going to get a piece of the action. We're going to get a piece of the action, right? So that's going to be really, really cool, really, really fun. This is just a random snapshot of, not even a full day of what's going on in our back office. And this is my back office, which is all of your back office. We're all one team, right? Right now, there's 150,000 people in the company. And I would say that about 100,000 are in India. It's just a random thing. There's no reason why. One of the first people to really like this business happened to be a guy in India. He took it very seriously. He pushed it. The company just supports whoever comes in the doors. And for the first year plus, it was mostly Indian people. So they focused and they helped those people. Then recently, 6 months ago, a lot of people in America said, hey, can we do that? We're like, sure, you could have done it before. And then that happened. So right now, the two biggest markets are India and the US. And that's probably like 120,000 of the 150. There's a little bit in Mexico, then the rest of the market is wide open. Our team is focused primarily on Asia and Europe, everywhere. And now Africa has been exploding too. But I just thought this was really cool to see what's going on. We had someone from Hungary, United States, Austria, Netherlands, Hungary, Ireland, Hungary, UK, Ireland, Hungary, USA, Austria, Italy, Thailand, Austria, South Africa, Kenya. So it's a completely global business. And if you don't know people in these countries, don't worry about it. Somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who does. And then it could absolutely explode in one of these countries, and you get to be the direct beneficiary of everything that happens over there. Here's a snapshot from about 3 weeks ago, just a day in the life of our tokens. Hey, there's days where it goes down. I just happen to look at it one day and say, it's a beautiful morning, right? All my tokens were up. They're all green. Look at this one, up 11% for the day. Explore, up 9.8. If you know anything about investments, or business in general, right? Even if you just bought a house or anything above 8% return for a year is considered pretty good, right? Anything above 15%, and you're that annoying guy at the party, guess who's up 15% on his portfolio? This guy, right? This is 9.87% for the day. Again, it goes up and down. It'll probably the next day, it'll go down 5, but then up 6, then down 3, then up 7, whatever, right? So, hey, smoke him if you got him. This was a good day. That's a legitimate shot. Thank you very much. We're just about done, folks. This is a weekly results. I did tell you we have a Forex business. A lot of this is mumbo jumbo to some of you. And we do have people on the team that are starting to come in only for this. They're like, no, schmo, show me the Forex, right? So this is here. Whether you like it or not, it's there. If you don't want it, just ignore it. But this means nothing really to most of you guys if you don't understand Forex. I didn't at one point, and now I'll just say this. I make over 6 figures a month from Forex, right? Passively nonetheless, so that's kind of crazy. But 1,981 total pips. On average, you should make $1 a pip based on, some people make much more, some people make a little bit less, but beginners, typically it's about $1 a pip. So this is for the week, right? So for those that want to learn how to do this, if you have some free time, if you hate your job and don't want to go back, you might want to spend 1 or 2 hours a week learning what we're doing, or even setting up this could be also automated for you if you want, right? So some good numbers here, 79% win rate on our binary option synthetics are things like the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, we call it the US 30, so on and so forth. These are our actual statistics, really, really cool stuff. Buy a node, obviously we talked about that. Last but not least, and this is so hilarious, I'm going to spend 2 minutes on how you make money here, and then I'll take a few testimonials, and this call will be over in the next 5 or 6 minutes. Why I said this is hilarious is I'm usually the opposite. I usually spend 55 minutes on the compensation plan and how you get paid, because I'm really good at building organizations and helping other people do the same. And whether it's big or small or just a little bit, that's kind of like my major focus. In this company, pardon me, you just saw me spend 95% of the presentation talking about the product. And I know you asked for a drink of water and I put a fire hose to your face, and I'm sorry about that. Hopefully though, you actually got some water, right? And it was nice and cold, and you were super thirsty and dry, and now you're not. You might need to change your clothes, you might need a towel, but you did get a drink. You got more than you bargained for. I realize that. I know it's a lot, and I know some of it is absolutely crazy sounding, but it's all verifiable, it's all true, it's all working, and it's all good. So and the other thing too, I've never really had a product where the product made you money. That's the beauty of it, right? The nodes are our product right now, and they just happen to make you money. So people are like, I don't want to buy anything. I don't want to put any money into things. It's like, well, you put in this much money, you get back that much money. They're like, can I do bots? Right? It's usually how it goes. I'm not going to get too deep into this because most people really don't understand comp plans that much. I do want to talk about something though, right here called the rank bonuses, right? We have a very unique thing in this company, and that's the rank bonuses. Now understand, any company I've been in, I've actually been documented as the #1 fastest person in the companies I've been in, and 4 times to be the fastest to the top position. I don't do it for any specific reason. I just feel it's easier to build fast than it is to build slow. And you guys are rolling your eyes and wondering, yeah, tell me another one, buddy. But you know, momentum creates momentum. If I put 10 people in my first day and they each put in 1 person in the next week, you know what I mean? Now I'm growing by 10 people a week, and then geometric and all these things kick in. So I understand that. It's just something that I like to do, is just build fast. And even 1,200, I don't think that's a record here. One of my companies had 3 million people, and that was 2014. I don't think the record's been broken. So let's look at this. What's in it for you guys? The rank bonuses I love because it's very simplified. All you need to do for some of these positions, and the positions are arbitrary, right? You don't care if you're a builder, an ambassador, or an influencer. You just care, how much money do I make if I do these things? And that's what's great about this company. Hit this rank, get this rank bonus. Some of them you just need 1 person on your left, 1 on your right. So sign up 2 people, you make X amount of dollars. And then I think from executive producer on, you need 4 people. 2 on your left, 2 on your right. What does that mean? Doesn't mean anything. When you sign up 4 people, you just assign 2 as your left people and 2 as what's called your right people. It makes no difference to anything else really, for the most part. And that's 4 people. Guess what you need for elite ambassador? A position, by the way, that makes you, you know, millions of dollars per year. And we have a gentleman, by the way, here's some breaking news. I was talking to a guy that's in the company right now. I'll say this, he's number 1 in the company. He just broke over $1 million a month last month, 1.08%. And then for a second, I was like, what's 0.800? The 0.08 is 80,000 more per month. He's making $1,080,000 a month right now. And he's out of India. And our months are actually 28 days here. So crazy, crazy. He's an elite ambassador. Do you know how many people you need to sign up personally? Personally is the key to be an elite ambassador. 4. 4, 4, 4. 2 on your left, 2 on your right. Now, granted, you're going to need some of a team and everything else, but your only personal requirement is to make sure you have either 2 to 4 people and you're playing the game. All right, so let's go backwards here a little bit. Let's go to builder. Builder is relatively simple. You make if your entire team brings in a total of 1,040 points, then you have enough volume. That's the requirement, right? The volume is the big deal. Volume will make you a builder. Do you have 1 on your left, 1 on your right? Yes. Do you have 1,040 points on your team? Yes. Then you're a builder and you make roughly $90 a week. There is a little requirement here. You can't have, you know, the guy on your left do $1, the guy on your right do $10,039 or points and call it a day, right? There's a little breakdown here, just to, pardon me, to keep it balanced, because the company, it's not multi-level. There's no levels here. The levels are infinity. Anybody on your team, all the way down, all counts towards your points. That's what's incredible. So the company would go bankrupt. Like, you know, I have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of points. I have 5 children. If they didn't have this requirement, I would assign 1 kid, 2 kid, 3 kid, 4 kid, 5 kid, my wife, my ex-wife, right? And then I'd come in and they'd all make $100,000 a month. That doesn't work. It kind of, you could do that. They just have to each do a little bit outside of me. They can count 35% of my several $100,000, right? Which is still pretty cool. Moving on, I know you didn't catch all of that, but we do have a time crunch here. Let's say producer, that's a pretty good rank. $3,600 in 3,600 points, right? And you'd be a producer and you'd make $200 per week, which is $800 per month. That is really, really good money, because I'm sure if you had this going on, you're also making money one of the 2 other ways that we have, which is fast start bonuses or direct sales, right? And we also have this that we're not going to really even touch on right now, which is what's called a binary commission, where you also make 10% of this 3,600, which would be another $360, depending on how you had it broken down as well. And this goes anywhere from 10, as you see, to 20%. So this is called the binary, and you make this even on people that aren't on your team, right? It's something that would be better shown visually, meaning they're on your team, but you didn't bring them in and nobody in your team brought them in. We do have something that sometimes No one owes it to you. You never demand it from anybody. You never complain if you don't get it. But sometimes there's something called spillover. That means someone above you somewhere has nowhere else to put people, and the computer decides, hey, let's give it to Steve. He's down there, right? Even myself, I would spill over to somebody, and everybody on this call has people above them, which is fine. And hopefully, and I've seen it, and some of them spill over to some of us, right? But you make anywhere from 10 to 20% of the total volume of your team. This is called qualified volume, which means it can tie it back to you somewhere. You told someone who told somebody who told somebody who told somebody who brought in someone that bought $10,000 worth, then all of you got $10,000 worth of points. And you can just see the various levels right here. Sorry, I'm a little bit all over the board on this portion right now, but influencer is very, very cool. It means your entire team has done 25,000 PV in sales, and you get 15% of that paid to you weekly, right? However much came in for the week, you get paid instantly weekly. And you also get $1,000 a week bonus. So $4,000 a month. So many of my leaders, right? And even for, this is a really good position, 25,000, that's not nothing, right? It's not small, but it's certainly not even the realm of big. My last 3 companies, I've averaged 2 million points a month. Now you can say, yeah, Kev, that's you. You're tall, you're good looking. You got the gift of gab, you got that smooth voice, got those long flowing locks, right? You could do 2 million. Look, 2 million might be a lot. And of course I have a skill set, but I look at things, this is just me, my competitive nature. I'm like, if someone can do 2 million, I can do 25,000. I mean, it's barely 10%, right? Or whatever. There's a lot of good numbers in between. But if you can get to 25, and again, it's not just you. It's you and your entire team put together. Make no mistake about that. If you can do 25,000, you're making 1,000 a week, which is $52,000 a year just in this one bonus. And that's why I don't need to go through everything else. If we just focus on this bonus right here, or if you ask, and again, most of you on this call just want to buy some nodes or rent some nodes and move on. But if you want to take advantage of this and maybe share this with some friends who are looking for some alternative forms of income right now, everything costs way more. Most jobs are paying less or laying people off. Complete industries are disappearing. To hoard an idea like this, these nodes that drop these tokens from the sky every day like clockwork into your wallet, borders on selfish. Let me say it out loud. But again, get in where you fit in. I'll never say that to your face, but you might want to share this with people. And if you do, you'll be handsomely rewarded. So I'm going to stop right there. I think that's enough. We can get into the comp plan. Understand, if one person is making over $1 million a month, there's a number that you can get to with, I always look at this, effort in versus dollars out, right? Or effort out versus dollars in. I only want to work this hard, Kev. Well, if you work this hard, you get this much money. You know what, Kev? I need to change my life. I'm willing to work this hard. Well, then you get that much money. Like, Kev, I got a lot going on in my life. I don't want to be passive, but I don't want to work too hard. What happens if I just work this hard? Well, then you get that much money, right? The money here is always paying you a little bit more than it normally should in any other similar competitive business to us. So just know that here's the place to win. And I'll be quiet. I will very quickly. This call is just about over. The only thing I'm going to do now is some happy clappy stuff I could have broke this up with. Just a few testimonials. Marshawn, if you want to kick it off, or if anybody else maybe wants to do so, let me turn off my, sharing. And I didn't even show my debt box, but maybe one of you guys can. But if anybody wants to share some of their,
well, I'm happy to
30
share.
seconds or less testimonial.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kevin, for an awesome presentation as always. I just wanted to share for those guests that are on the call. It is absolutely just as simple as he said. If you want to be 100% passive, just go ahead and get you some nodes, get them set up. You don't have to tell another single soul about it, and it will start creating, passive rewards for you every single day, 7 days a week. My friend called and said, I can't believe this. We're getting paid on Thanksgiving. I was like, yeah, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. We were getting rewards, rewarded in tokens. And the other side that I want to say is on the marketing side, if you like sharing good news, so this is great news. If you like sharing great news with others, I don't know of another compensation plan out there that will reward you as handsomely as this one will. We have several people. I have one gentleman that's only been in for 6 days, and he's knocking on executive producer. That should happen today. And so in 6 days, he's gone to that level that Kevin just showed you, where you're making $500 a week, which is really, with all the other bonuses, we're talking about $2,500 a month. And that's just really, really awesome when you can get, when you can have people that want to change their lives and are willing to share good news with others. That's all we're doing. If you want to, we tell people about where, oh girl, you can go and get these shoes down there, they're on sale. Well, those people don't pay us for telling the other people about those shoes. But here we'll help pay you handsomely for sharing a way that people can get passive income coming in. And last thing I'll leave you with, one of my friends, he said, oh, my sister says she has to think about it. And I said, why don't you give her this challenge? Tell her you put 1,000 here, which means rent 4 nodes, and you put 1,000 in a bank, and let's check in 60 days. If your bank has more money than what we have here on your node side, we will triple your money. And he was like, oh my goodness, I'm definitely going to share that with her, because we already know there's no way in the world that the banks are going to give her anything close to what she's going to get with being rewarded with these daily rewards. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to turn it back over to Kevin. Thank you so much for jumping on and allowing me to speak. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. How about Hugh Paul or Scott? Do either of you want to take 60 seconds and maybe share a little bit of a node story, especially since most people we know will be passive. We know the money's there for building it. And where the bread and butter comes from is, can we create happy customers? So let's look at that. And then maybe Darren, you might want to jump in after.
Hey, Hugh Paul, how you want to do this? Age first or beauty first? Seriously, guys, get on Hugh Paul's thing tomorrow. I mean, Kevin does an excellent job. Hugh Paul does a fantastic job. I've got a mixture of perpetuals and rentals. I've got ALUM, XPLR, NATG perpetuals. I'll be getting a debt box perpetual. I've got rentals of everything else that we can get right now. I keep seeing the rewards come in. I've ranked up to influencer, did that in the space of about a month. And so I'm at that $1,000 a week, quote unquote, MLM salary that Kevin talks about. And for those of you on this call, I was a hard no on never doing networking again. I just wasn't gonna. And I saw this and I just kept digging in and digging in and digging in. And it just made so much sense. So couldn't be more grateful. And I am one of those people, I think, who tells Kevin thank you on a fairly regular basis. And if I don't, Kev, well, thank you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, and thanks. I'm just reading the post here. You were able to say that you got 10 of those natural gas rentals. How are they doing? Sorry, did you just say, but can you give us some numbers for the guests to kind of, I mean, that's obviously not a normal size purchase, so we'll qualify it by saying that, but it does happen. I was just showing people, if you can get $1,000 in volume or 1,000 BV or 25,000 BV, and you bought 10 natural gas alone, so that is
yeah, I mean, there you go, right there.
There it is.
There's
wow. Yeah, I know the purchase just went through in the last couple of days.
Yeah,
so they're starting to kick in, right?
10 of these are purchases, 10 of these are rentals. So some of those rentals will drop off at some point here after the 60-day cycle. And you see that my current mining balance, 855,000, that's the current balance that's there. But if I go over real quick, so per the owner of Debtbox, I regularly move things into my personal wallet within the Debtbox ecosystem. 19.16 million NATG tokens. Wow. And if you add what else we saw that's building over there in the other portion, we're at about 20 million tokens at this point, and at fractions of a penny. And so I look at this as a long-term thing. I think this is truly a legacy company. I'm having fun. It doesn't feel like work. It's just like, here real quick, these are the licenses so that you're, don't take my word for it. There are the perpetuals, ALUM, XPLR, NATG, and then you see my grow rentals, you see the NATG rentals, you see the BGLD rentals. And name of the game, I would say, is accumulation. The rentals are a fantastic way to accumulate tokens as quickly as possible, and then get the perpetuals in the projects that you really believe in. That's how I'm moving after it.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I was a little bit worried when you showed $200. I was like,
Yeah, right.
No, that's great. That's great. Darren, do you want to say you're having a great time with the business? How are things going for you?
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe qualify a little bit, because you happen to be the gentleman that I reference all the time that happen to know the owners of DebtBox before you ever even knew they were now doing DebtBox. So if you want to take 30 seconds on how the business is going for you or the nodes, and then 30 seconds, please, because you have a unique perspective that you found out completely by accident as to, these guys as a local friend and business partner.
Sure, absolutely. First of all, I had one of my buddies just the other day. He's like, I don't know, what do I do with $10,000? I said, you can either buy if you're looking for that long term, or you can rent and get cash flow in the next 60 days. And he's like, well, and he corrected me and he says, well, wait a minute. If I do rentals, am I not doing, like, if I did 20 rentals, am I not doing 20 months worth, or in those 60 days, I'm not doing the 20 months worth of months? And I'm like, in tokens, and the value of the tokens. And I'm like, yeah, you're absolutely right. Actually, you're making a perfect analogy here. So he went ahead and did the tokens and grow, oddly enough, and grew, as you know, it has grown 800%, over 800% in the last couple months. So he's very, very excited. He's quadrupled his money and then some, and just fantastically excited, calling me, just overwhelmed. So, and I'm doing the same thing. I look at my wallet every day. My wife looks at my wallet and goes, wow, we made $60, $80 today just in this one little program. And oh, by the way, my wallet looks okay too, because my wife's in, she wanted to do it as well with me. So we did that, and she's on the passive side and doing fantastic.
Quick question. Does your wife always want to do your businesses with you? Because I know that's unique for some families.
No. No, she doesn't ever want to do my businesses. She just likes to sit on the side and go, this sounds like one of those rug pulls. You're going to get your rug pulled out from underneath you, and is that fear of loss person, which I'm glad I have, because she helps me keep a little bit of balance. But no, she liked this one because it's truly backed by commodities, things that she understands: oil, natural gas, gold. Especially gold. She understands gold real well. She enjoys that. All on her, around her neck, on her bracelets, on her arm, and in her ears. But that's one thing. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the debt box. I have personally worked with Jason and Jake over the years in multi-products. They started out in their 20s. The older brother, Jason, he started out in his 20s flipping homes. That's where he made some really good money to start flipping homes. But he found out that flipping homes was kind of hard work, because he had to keep, like Kevin was saying, you had to fix things. You had to have a trans guy that would go in, and I can't remember their exact names, but they go in and the financiers that take care of all of the problems that go on in these homes before they're flipped. And then he would rent some, and then there would be more problems. So then he got into hedge funding, and he was controlling $700 to $800 million of people's money and hedge funding them. And the funny part is, when I talked to him, he's like, these guys, I can make 13, 14% or whatever a year. And if I give them 11%, they're happy. I mean, they're beyond happy. And that's a year, not as Kevin showed the chart, a day in grow, or the other chart of Explorer at 9% a day, that's a year that most people in this world are excited when they have an 8 to 10 to 15% growth a year. Now we're doing that in weeks, months, and days, guys. That's the difference here. You can choose to get into something that is like a Bitcoin way back when and watch the growth, or you can get in and get out like people did in Bitcoin all day long. But I will tell you this, you need to look at the opportunity and take the opportunity to make a $250 decision today, because ultimately what you do today will make up your tomorrow. What things we do right now in this bear market will build our wealth in the next bull run. And there will, I promise you, be another bull run. And all these coins are going to go through the roof. We're so excited. These tokens are amazing. And the more you gather, it's like gathering eggs. You're gathering your eggs from your chickens. You've got all your eggs in them. You've got them in different baskets now. Now you've got your eggs, and now you can go out and share those eggs. Share this opportunity with as many people as you can, because this is going to be a household name. Remember it, IX Global. All right, thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Any of the other co-hosts want to share really quick before we shut it down?
Kevin, you're probably expecting me to say something, but I just like to say that you did hit me at a real bad time, and I want to thank you for that, because it's worked out quite nicely for me. But 7 weeks ago, I lost my father, and then this is when we were looking at this project, and you know, we didn't know when he was going to die, but he'd been bad with cancer from October a year ago. So every day was a blessing, and we just didn't know what was going to happen. And when it happened, it happened. And then he was buried on my birthday, the 30th of September. And then shortly after that, it was just good to get away. And Barcelona was kind of, didn't make sense that I should have been there, but I think I just got away, and it was good to get away for a few days and take on this project, I suppose, is really what I did. I met the owners. I met the owners of IX, and I spoke to a lot of the top leaders there, finding out what they did to be successful, what was their strategy. And I tried to absorb as much as I could in those 3 or 4 days I was away, and met a lot of you guys on this call out there too, and came back and got COVID. I must have picked it up at the airport or the airplane or somewhere coming back from Barcelona, and that locked me or isolated me in my bedroom for 5 days. Couldn't go near the rest of the house and getting my food under the door. So I didn't get a real good start at this, but I still made influencer in the first month. I'm making about $5,000 a week right now, $20,000 a month, and I'm part-time. And I do it hard Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I do it harder. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I do it harder Thursday and Tuesday. On the off days, I do more, because that's when I follow up. That's when I do my trainings. That's when I help others, you know. So it's all about building for the events and getting people on the call. And, you know, sometimes you need to hear it a few times. I mean, I couldn't understand it, you know. There was that many videos, and I watched one video for an hour and 10, another video for 45 minutes, another video, and all these great videos, but I still couldn't patch the whole thing together, what was going on. So I grabbed a piece of paper and I started scribbling it to myself, and now I think I can make sense of it. And the good thing is you make money while you're learning it, so you don't even have to understand it to make money. That's the simple thing. So if somebody's invited you to this call, just ask them for their link, and that person who's invited you to this call needs to call you immediately after this call and say, have you decided how many of these nodes you want? Do you want to buy them? Do you want to rent them? Let's get you started. That's the best favor they could do you. I want to thank Kevin for sharing this idea with me. It's been great for me and my family, my kids. I've been in this industry since I'm going to say 1988 or maybe 1986, I think. Quite a few years back is when I started in this industry, and it's the first time my own family's involved. So my young son's making about $250 a day. His older brother's now making about $125 a day. And they've never been to a presentation. They don't do presentations. They don't refer. They just, one of my kids rides horses. The other kid's, he's working from home, but he's very good on the computers. He works for he kind of can get your website right up to the top there, whatever you call that SEO, but it's more than that. It's paid search. He's very good at that. And he works for one of the top companies in the world. And he just says here, well, I'm working, I can get paid twice. I'm getting paid from the nodes, and I'm also getting paid by my employer. So he's getting double money, but he's getting like I think he's getting about 125 a day from this. And I'm not sure what his boss pays him. He gets quite a good money, but the passive money here is great for the kids. And if it works for my family, then it can work for my next door neighbor. If it can work for my next door neighbor, it can work for a guy on the street. And if it can work for a stranger or a guy on the street, it'll work for my best friend. If it works for my best friend, it'll work for everybody. So I would suggest just don't understand it. If you don't understand it, do it. If you do understand it, do it. Both. So hope it works for you guys, and we'll see you all soon.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I have a new friend that's been working with us for a while, but making some stuff happen. I don't even know if she's still on. I'll just say she's from Arkansas because she might be shy to talk or have political reasons or something. But Miss Arkansas, if you want to say anything really quick, you know, we're happy to have your leadership and your and the things you're doing here so fast. If you want to unmute or something, feel free to share. Otherwise, I guess we're going to wrap it up and close it out. I did just put for the others.
Kevin,
Yeah, okay.
let me just say, wow. Wow. This is an absolutely phenomenal opportunity. I've been in this industry for quite some time, and I look for opportunities that I believe will be sustainable, long lasting, with a nice corporate structure and edge cutting technology. Oh my goodness, I'm just blown away. And my good business partner Bernard, he brought me to the table and introduced me, and then Mr. Kevin has offered some great mentorship, and this has been a literally 2 to 3 day fun ride, and I'm just too excited. I really can't sleep. This is not even a sale, because there's so many different ways to make money, but I've introduced a couple of people and I said, hey, just check it out, buy one node, look at it. I brought people to the call that was held, I want to say the day before Thanksgiving, and I forgot his name, but he did a phenomenal presentation. And I always tell people, just buy one, start with, minimum, just try it and see what you like, because I know human nature is when we see something and it looks great and it's doing great, our minds just start calculating what we could be like, what it could be. Oh my goodness, this is doing this. Man, if I had this many, it could do this. It's just automatic when there's performance. So you don't have to go in spending thousands. You can come in and spend the minimum, but I know that minimum of $250 per node rental, or if you decide to get a perpetual license, when you do that and you taste it, it's like, oh my God, I want more. I got to do this. This is crazy. And again, just to see all the groundbreaking technology in real life projects and all the people that are being helped, it's just mind blowing. So everyone that is coming in is like, man, okay, one, no, I want 4 of those, or I want 2 of those. It's like, it's just mind blowing and it's amazing. And again, I'm grateful for the opportunity. Bernard, when he introduced it to me, he was pretty persistent, and he's always, like myself, he tries to find good opportunities, solid platforms. We just, I'm not into the get rich quick scenarios or building something like that. I want something that's long lasting. So I appreciate his persistence, because I really kind of put him off a little bit, but boy, I'm glad he kept trying, because I love it. And then Kevin, I thank you for your mentorship, your leadership. You're just a great leader, and we're grateful to be a part of this. So thank you for allowing me to speak, and thank you for introducing me. And I can tell you right now, you ain't seen nothing yet from this team. We're about to blow this baby up. So I'm excited. Thank you.
Awesome. Can't get any better than that. 3 days in the business, already over a dozen people on our team. Everyone's paid, everyone's getting nodes. Some people are already making their second purchases, expect already international. She's got some good friends that I see on here that stuck in the back door from even Nigeria and stuff. So looking to just help everybody, guys. So with that being said, thank you so much for being on. If you didn't see in the chat, we put our Facebook group and our Telegram. We will be creating a schedule in the next 24 to 48 hours. So you know that when all the calls are on, there's even some other leaders that are doing some. So we're going to create an entire ecosystem. Sean, maybe you put this, I don't know if you want to do it on a wide level. If it's too much here, don't do it just yet. But we also have a sign up link, or at least let's just put the Crypto Avengers version for now. We also have some very technical savvy people on here that are creating some great things for the team to use to help build your business. There will not be a charge of any kind. So we provide everything free of charge here, but these are going to be some top-notch, cutting-edge tools. And there'll be some training tools also put together, everything over the next week or two. We're going to be a company within the company, is the way I'm looking at it. So someone might put that in a chat here really quickly. So I'm about to sign out in the next 10 seconds, but stick around if you want to get access to some of the tools and the two groups that we have, because we'll be putting a lot more things in there. And by the way, there's lots of videos to watch in this company. Just knock out 1 or 2 a day. I mean, some are just 5 minutes. You can knock out 4 or 5 of those. Some are about half an hour. I know it's long, but the money here is strong. You know, for the kind of money that you can make, the nuggets that you can get. I mean, I just found out even myself that we already employ almost 10,000 people, or at least 3,500 and soon to be 10,000 people in Ghana. We've already developed pipelines and irrigation systems. So prior to DebtBox getting into Ghana, people were walking or commuting, however they commute, 2 miles to get fresh water. We have brought fresh water to villages. It might sound like a small, like, oh, that's cute. To some people, it's life or death without being too, you know, melodramatic about the situation. Just complete lifestyle. So there's people, many thousands, tens of thousands of people. When you say DebtBox in Ghana, we have a special place in their heart, and they have a special place in ours. I don't know if you call him, some people were calling him the king. I don't think he's quite a king, but he's a chief of certain a part of the country. He just offered us another 25,000 acres of land to DebtBox, just as a thank you gift when we went there last week. Over and up, and here's what's cool about it. We didn't want the land. We say, you keep it. We will just scan it all, tell you what's there, give you our recommendation, what to focus on, and so on. And that, I think that might say a whole lot about the company. Some people like, again, that's cute, that's nice. And other people like, oh my gosh, these guys might be the real deal, right? 25,000, and that's how happy they are for what we've done. And maybe that might help you believe a little bit more when I said they have kicked out all the billion-dollar companies that are raping and pillaging their land. Sorry to be so graphic, but quite frankly, that's what's going on. They like our style and moving forward. We basically, my words, we basically have a monopoly right now on the country of Ghana when it comes to any of these things, which is really cool. I want to use that in the right way, because usually monopolies are kind of bad, but we have oversight. And they also presented us with a check for $65 million, right? They came to our hotel, and this story is a week old, right? That's the kind of stuff that's going on. There's already a bunch of other countries that are begging to do the same thing, which I predicted would start to happen when I first heard any inkling of this story on some of my Zooms, because it just makes too much sense financially, social, economically, and climate wise and everything else that goes with it. So this is about to be a really, really big deal. However big you think it is, people like myself and Hugh Paul, Arlisha is very adept at marketing. She's made a lot of money. She's built tremendous organizations. Darren as well, a lot of the people who spoke. Every single week we have a big aha moment, and this gets bigger and bigger and bigger than we think it could ever be. We're going to 500 million next year. We pay a minimum of 73 cents on the dollar. If anybody's quick with math, what is 73% of 500 million? That's what we're paying out. That's the commissions that are going to be on the table by being part of this team and the infrastructure that we specifically are putting together. I think, a lot of that's going to be under a lot of people on this team. And I'm not trying to promise you anything because I don't want to overpromise and hype you up, but some of this has to spill somewhere. Stay in the game, get active, stay active, and at least give it a year. And I promise you, good things are going to either happen just because you're here, just because of the nodes, or hopefully just because you're part of this team. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to sign off from this call. Double check the chat if you need to get some links. And we'll see you guys here real soon. It's been documented in the chat that the mighty Hugh Paul, who just spoke, a really good friend of mine. We have personal businesses together as well, in and outside of network marketing right now. And he does a tremendous presentation. He does it all live at a whiteboard, a flip chart, and it's very, very mesmerizing. He is militant for your own benefit. He will lock the doors 3 minutes in, so don't be late. He wants you to get the full brunt of what he's teaching. And I promise you, it's a whole different perspective. It's all the same information, and different things hit you differently. Maybe you like this one, didn't like this one, but maybe you'll like his more. It doesn't matter. We're just trying to convey these messages so that you guys can all benefit. So with that being said, that call is at 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, 8 p.m. UK time. It will be well publicized in all of our groups. See you guys tomorrow and have a great, great rest of the weekend. Thank you for being on. Sorry, we went a little bit long. Hopefully you received tremendous value. As a matter of fact, if you can go in some of those chats on the Telegram and tell people they missed a fantastic call, that's going to excite them to bring some guests to the next one. Thank you, everybody. Talk to you guys real soon. Oh, be on the call tomorrow, the company global call at noon. They're going to have great, great announcements, including an incentive trip where they're going to spend thousands of dollars per person. And this trip is very, very simple to qualify for. I'm talking 5-star resort. I'm talking Dominican Republic. And I'm talking about airfare and even a chance to get an extra $1,000 airfare for a spouse. Really, really good. Could be a life-changing event for many, many people. Talk to you guys real soon. Thank you again for being on.